Have you ever felt like something big is about to explode? Because today, folks, things are heating up in Las Vegas. We've got a bombshell visit at the training facility, a potential game-changing addition, and a bold draft decision I got fans split down the middle, and trust me, not everyone's walking away happy. A big name is out, new prospects are in, and behind-the-scenes surprises are shaking things up. Could Carroll's new blueprint actually work? Or are we watching another historic mistake take shape? Buckle up, smash that like button, and let's get right into it. It's official. The Raiders are heading into 2024 without their starting cornerbacks. Nate Hobbs, gone in free agency. Jack Jones, released. That leaves the secondary wide open, in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert as twice-a-year rivals. But hold on. Out of nowhere, a name has reignited hope for Raider Nation. Will Johnson. That's right, the Michigan Monster. The guy who locked down top receivers in high-stakes games, even coming off an injury. And here's the latest buzz. He's fully healthy and even better scheduled to visit the Raiders this Tuesday. Now check this out. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Johnson's medicals are spotless. He's ready to make an impact from the very first snap. And insiders are saying it loud. He could be the answer to the Raiders' secondary problems. And we're not talking just any opinion. NFL.com's respected analyst Lance Zierlein compared Will Johnson to Pro Bowler J.C. Horn. He's big, fluid, instinctive, and has ball production. He's exactly the type of corner teams dream about. Zierlein said his pre-snap reads and anticipation are elite. But wait, PFF's Trevor Sycamore took it even further. He praised Johnson's foot quickness and change of direction, adding that while his recovery speed isn't top tier, he thrives in zone schemes, Pete Carroll's specialty. Starting to connect the dots. Now let's think this through. With both starters gone and the secondary thin as paper, would you really let this kind of talent slip by at number 6 overall? It's hard to imagine any excuse that Raider Nation would accept if the team doesn't move aggressively. But there's a twist. Other names are in the mix. Jody Barron out of Texas, solid. Travis Hunter from Colorado, a unicorn, but almost. Certainly off the board by 6. Which brings us back to Will Johnson as the most realistic, immediate impact option. And there's more. Johnson's physicals, off the charts. Long, lean, great wingspan. Sure, there's slight concern about his top-end speed, but the full package screams a guy who could dominate the league in the right system. Fan reaction? A blend of nerves and hope. Some want a defense with identity, others still feel the stink of past draft mistakes and want the team to go a different route. But one thing's for sure, Will Johnson's name is at the top of the coaching staff's meetings. Now, if that was a big headline, get ready, because the next one might be the boldest pick since Darren McFadden. We're talking about an offensive weapon who's dividing experts, busting mock drafts, and could totally reshape the Raiders' offense. And no, it's not a quarterback. When you hear running back in the top 10, your heart skips, right? Especially after years of the position being undervalued. But the Raiders might be ready to flip that narrative. And they just might be right. The name heating up behind the scenes? Ashton Jeanty. If you don't know him yet, strap in. Show. This. Kids bringing serious heat. According to ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. and SNY's Connor Hughes, Jeanty's name is red hot on Vegas's draft board. This comes right after the team finalized a 2-year extension with Geno Smith this week. So QB locked in. Now they need weapons. And Jeanty, he's not just another RB, he's the RB. Former NFL running back and current analyst Maurice Jones-Drew didn't hold back. Best RB prospect I've seen in the last 10 years. That's big talk from someone who knows what it takes. Jeanty has contact balance, insane vision, and get this. He played quarterback in high school, so he reads the game like few others. Why does that matter right now? Simple. In 2024, Geno Smith had the 4th most pass attempts in the NFL. 578 throws. He also racked up the 2nd most interceptions. Pete Carroll clearly wants to take some of that pressure off. How do you do that? Run the rock. Control the clock. Be physical. That's Jeanty. Tough, fast, versatile. He's a 3-down back who can run inside, outside, and catch passes with ease. But this isn't an easy call. Nick Baumgardner from The Athletic pointed out, drafting ARB in the top 10 is still extremely risky, even for teams not rebuilding. And the Raiders, they're in that in-between phase, not fully rebuilding, but not ready to run with the big dogs yet either. One more thing, Ginty will likely be there at pick number 6. So Vegas has a decision to make. Roll the dice on the top RB in the class, or wait, go cornerback and hope he's still around in round 2. Spoiler alert, he won't be. And don't forget the Jets. They're eyeing Ginty at number 7. If the Raiders don't act fast, he could be heading straight to New York. DraftKings even has Vegas as the betting favorite to take him. 130. That's no coincidence. Fan base reaction? Split. Some want that immediate offensive punch to help Geno. Others want O-line or defense. But there's a growing crew, and I'm with them, who believe this kind of talent can't be passed up. And just when you thought we'd hit peak boldness, this next story might just blow up everything you thought you knew about the Raiders cornerback room. And it's not about the draft. It's someone already on the roster flying under the radar until now. While everyone's busy wondering who the Raiders will draft to fix the secondary, one name is quietly turning heads behind the scenes. And this isn't just hype. Decamerion Richardson. That's right. The same young corner who flew under the radar in 2024 could be Pete Carroll's secret weapon heading into 2025. What's heating up in Vegas isn't just the departures of Hobbs and Jack Jones. It's the real possibility that Carroll, defensive guru extraordinaire, already has a breakout star in his building. Think this is overhyped? Here's a stat. Richardson finished 2024 with the lowest missed tackle rate among all Raiders corners, just 7.8%, a full 6.5% lower than the next guy. That alone should catch your attention. But there's more. Richardson fits the classic Pete Carroll mold. Physical, aggressive, and hungry. Reminds you of Devin Witherspoon, the number 5 pick Carroll grabbed in 2023? Richardson has a similar makeup. Not saying he's there yet, but the signs are promising. Let's talk measurable. 6'2" height, 32'38" arm length, nearly 78 wingspan. That puts him in the 82nd percentile for corners and body length. For comparison, draft darling Will Johnson is also 6'2", but with much shorter arms, 31'8", just 10th percentile. Does it matter? With Pete Carroll, absolutely. He loves defenders with natural reach for zone and press coverage. But don't think it's just about size. Carroll's always valued instincts, toughness, and a will to hit, traits Richardson has in spades. He may not have been perfect, but he got better every snap. That's what matters when you're building a defensive project. Savvy fans noticed he had nearly the same number of tackles as Nate Hobbs, despite playing a rotational role. And now, with Jack Jones gone, the door's wide open. The Raiders will still draft corners, no doubt, but they may no longer be looking for a savior. Instead, the plan could be to build a competitive trio, with Richardson likely starting. Fan reaction? A mix of surprise and excitement. Some are going back to the tape wondering how they missed this kid. Others are starting to believe a young, athletic, hungry secondary is in the works. And with Carroll at the helm, that vision could become reality faster than anyone expected. And believe it or not, that's not even the most surprising headline this week. While everyone thought the offseason was all about draft prep, the Raiders made a sneaky move to beef up their depth chart. 5 names are back in the fold, but one of them could end up making a much bigger impact than anyone anticipated. Wow. The draft spotlight shone bright. The Raiders quietly brought back Matthew Butler, Kenai Malga, Jordan Meredith, Charles Snowden, and Sam Webb. At first glance, depth guys. But dig a little deeper, and at least 2 of these players could be this season's surprise contributors. Starting with Charles Snowden. Last year, no one expected him to play as much as he did, but injuries to Max Crosby and Malcolm Kunze opened the door, and Snowden seized the moment. 9 starts, 39 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 4 pass breakups. All after nearly 2 years off the NFL radar. He showed versatility, physical presence, and sharp instincts. If Carroll can mold him into a rotational edge rusher, watch out. The Raiders' D-line could gain a depth boost they sorely lacked in 2024. Next up, Kenai Malga. Not the flashiest name, but a key glue guy. Since arriving on the practice squad in 2022, Malga has carved out a consistent role, mostly on special teams, but that's a big deal to Pete Carroll. He values players who do the dirty work and bring stability when the storm hits. As for Butler and Meredith, they'll battle in training camp. Butler for reps in short yardage defensive formations. Meredith in a fierce fight for spots on our offensive line, a unit where one solid camp could lock in a roster slot. And Sam Webb. He's been on the field in high pressure moments and now enters a wide open secondary room. He may start as a backup, but with so many moving parts, he'll get his shot, especially if Carroll mixes up coverage schemes with more depth behind starters. What does this all say about the Raiders? That they're betting on continuity system, familiarity, and guys who've already proven they can handle NFL snaps. It's a smart strategy. Hold on to a tested core, layer in fresh talent, and build up from their fans. Mixed reactions. Some say it's too conservative. Others see it as a long-term play, giving Pete Carroll the kind of locker room he thrives in. Competitive, resilient, and filled with underdog hunger. And with that, the weekends with more answers than questions, but not without controversy. So here's the real question. Do you believe in these quiet re-signings, or think the Raiders should have hit reset hard? Because draft day is almost here, and the picks they make will say everything about what Vegas really believes heading into 2025. 4 major stories. 4 moves that could reshape the Raiders' future. The secondary shakeup made room for new blood, the draft is setting up high-stakes choices, and Pete Carroll is clearly putting his stamp on this squad. But are gambles on players like Richardson and a top-tier RB like Jeanty the right call? Or is this just another cycle of big promises and small results? Let me know what you think. Are the Raiders being bold or reckless? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a beat.